got to be the gentlest takeoff we've ever done. Oh!
Jacob, mate, I have to tell you something.
What?
I think Kia have given me the wrong car.
Wait, so you're telling me you didn't book this in?
No, I'm pretty certain I booked in the base model of the Stonic, the Kia Stonic S, because the whole shtick of this video was going to be, if you have to buy a Kia Stonic, at least just get the base model. But there's been a development.
What's that?
The Kia Rio is dead.
Oh.
So in my last video of this, where I absolutely slam dunked it, editor put a basketball there, and said, why would you spend more money when you could just get a Kia Rio? Where the Kia Rio is just like 7 centimeters shorter and 3.5 centimeters lower, but you're paying $5 more for this. I didn't get it, right? But now I guess it kind of does make sense, even in this GT line, which is probably the best spec to go for of the Stonic, which isn't really saying much. I'm not gonna slam this thing too much today though, because I think having driven so many cars recently, I've kind of changed my mind on this one, man.
Really?
Yeah, I think that cars are getting really, really expensive, and this thing still offers a really good value proposition if you want a new car with a new warranty that's kind of an SUV. And is quite frugal. As always, we've partnered with Driver to bring you guys the absolute best financing deal. So head to our website, carsauce.com/finance, and we will get you the absolute best financing deals for you. Plus every settled loan coming from us gets you a $150 fuel card. That's awesome, man. We've also got our full written review of this also up on the website. So check it out, carsauce.com. So as I said, this is top of the range, the GT line. Comes with actually quite a lot of inclusions. Driveway is just under 31,000 Australian dollars. That's actually pretty good value, man.
I mean, for an SUV.
For an SUV, it does cost $10,000 more than the base model, which is about 22,000 Driveway. But as I said, you get a lot of inclusions in this thing. Let's start with the exterior inclusions. So you get these nice LED lights here. I really like the daytime running lights and the turning signals. Plus the headlights are actually decently bright. So if you're gonna be driving this thing on a back road, at nighttime, you're probably gonna be okay. You've got a really small tiger nose grille here, and most of it is actually plugged up because this does come with a better engine versus any other Kia Stonic. And again, it's kind of the lesser of two evils, but we'll come back to that. You've also got these inlets here, and down the bottom, you have a pretty decent bumper. It's actually a better looking car, much better looking than the other Kia Stonics, in my opinion. So coming to the side, you do get these upgraded 17-inch wheels. They've actually got some thick rubber on it, and as you'll see, this thing does actually drive, in some aspects, pretty decently well. You've also got this black scratchy plastic all over the car, but I mean, it wouldn't be a small SUV / crossover without it, Jacob, would it? You can get this with a two-tone roof, or you can get it as a solid color. Jacob, why should you get it as a solid color?
Because you get a sunroof.
Correct. If you get this two-tone paint job, it's a no-cost option extra, then you actually delete the sunroof, and wouldn't you much rather have extra functionality than a tiny bit of style?
I know I would.
I know I would too. You've also got some roof rails up here. My God, the suspension is soft. Look at that. Keyless entry and go. That's a pretty good inclusion even at this price point. Privacy glass, again, a pretty good inclusion there too, but otherwise it's just a little tiny SUV. Let's talk about the back. If you're gonna get yourself a Kia Stonic, please don't get it in this white. It looks like, I would call it like car rental white, Jacob.
It looks like poop.
You get these pretty decent looking taillights here, Stonic badge there, new Kia logo there, GT line, Jacob. How
I heard that.
Jeez, even sounds like a rental car. You've also got some fake exhaust down the bottom and a diffuser there. The real exhaust is up underneath its bum. Ah, roof spoiler. Okay, look, none of that is really exciting, but what is exciting is this 7-year warranty. That's probably my favorite thing about all new Kias. It's a 7-year unlimited kilometer warranty. And really the people who buy this kind of car want a car that starts every time. And if it doesn't, well, they've got 7 years to fix any issues. That's pretty cool, man.
It's very cool.
Let's check out the interior. Okay, so coming into the interior of the Kia Stonic. Look, Kia have set a really high bar with their other cars, Jacob.
Too high, some would say.
Too high, some might say. Probably not, but look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that this is probably one of the worst cars that Kia makes at the moment.
What? I mean, I agree with you, but what?
Yeah, how dare I? How dare I have an opinion? Look, I sit in a lot of Kias. So, what do I like? I like this GT line steering wheel. We've got the GT line badge there. D-cut. Feels really nice to hold on to. Like, way more premium than this car really deserves, frankly. You do have buttons to control everything, including a little screen up in front of you for your instrument cluster. It's actually really snappy, shows enough information. I'm really not going to complain too much about it. Being the GT line, you do get automatic climate controls, Jacob. Ooh, it's actually kind of nice. Feels a bit primo. I really like the look of it. It's super easy to use, so I've got no complaints. You also get this carbon fiber, some might say. It's actually a fake carbon fiber. Feels horrible. Oh, I hate it. Materials, yeah, not really nice, but you're gonna find that across the class. So I'm not gonna take away too many points from it. And actually, I'm enjoying this interior more than I have the last time. Does that make sense?
It's a refined taste.
I think one of the things I'm coming to appreciate is the cost of cars these days. And so actually for what you get, it's pretty fine. Like this screen here, it works totally fine. In fact, it's one of the snappiest screens, especially in the segment. Super intuitive, easy to use. You have wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've also got navigation on here. So really, I don't have any complaints.
No, the screen's actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, like tech in here is good. And so I really get it from that point of view as well. You've also got heaps of storage. So a nook here, you've got a USB port and a 12-volt socket up front. That's pretty standard. You have your shifter here for probably the world's worst dual clutch and a drive mode selector there as well. The car actually starts weirdly in eco mode. Can I give you my theory for this?
Why?
I think because the dual clutch in this, which is the type of transmission it has, is just such an annoyingly bad transmission, jerky, doesn't work very well, that by putting it in eco, it like numbs the car. The seats, they're okay. They're not the comfiest in the world. They've got like this cloth and then this faux leather, which is actually quite convincing. They're actually decently comfortable. They don't have any lumbar support, and I don't know, like, I don't know if we've felt that, but it's just, you know, they're not the best seats in the world. Is what
They're
I'm
not my
trying to get at.
favorite at all.
No, I'm trying to be a bit nicer here, but it's really not the best. Glove box, decent size. Door bins, probably didn't expect this Coke, did you, Jacob?
Didn't see that coming at all.
You've got some pretty smart features. This is a decently well padded armrest, which look, ooh, it slides. And it actually has quite a lot of storage in it. Minimal complaint from me there, Jacob.
Very good.
Oh, I kind of like the air vents as well. Small minor detail. Now, this segment only applies to 5'11" overweight men. So if you're not a 5'11" overweight man, keep scrolling.
Look away now.
Just joking. I am 5'11" though, and I have plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom, and toe room is actually surprisingly good as well. I'm actually kind of impressed.
Oh yeah.
Packaging in here is actually pretty decent. You do have a nice map pocket there, none here though. It is a cheap car. USB-A port down there, and these seats, yeah, they're cloth, they're all right. Nothing too special. Do have that fake leather on them though. I don't know, man. Can't complain too much.
I guess it is a micro SUV.
What's wrong with micro?
Are we doing this again?
It's like every video. Let's check out the back. So one of the things that the Stonic does really well, but also kind of the Kia Rio, is the boot space. So first of all, look how big the aperture of the boot is. It is enormous. Like the whole back lifts up essentially. And then you get quite a lot of room in here. Now, it's only like 25 liters or something larger than a Kia Rio, i.e. nothing. But it still is a substantial amount of room for such a small car. I'm really impressed with the packaging. Under the boot floor, you do get a space saver spare wheel. You've also got this little nook here for storing things. And if we put down these seats, which is super duper easy, then you get a stupid amount of room for such a small car. Now, I've kind of mentioned this a lot throughout the video, but this truly is the lesser of two evils. So the GT line comes with the upgraded engine, and in a lot of ways it actually is. So this is a 1 litre, 3-cylinder turbo petrol. Yes, it's a very, very small engine and it does vibrate quite a lot, but it puts out 74 kilowatt of power, Jacob. Whoa. Mind-blowing. And 172 Newton meters of torque, which is actually kind of half-ish decent. Honestly though, this thing looks extremely powerful when you compare it to the Sport and S, both of which come with a 1.4 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, which puts out the same 74 kilowatt of power, but at 6,000 RPM. That means the engine is like screaming at you, and 133 Newton meters of torque. So yeah, if you're gonna get a Stonic, you'd be doing yourself a favor if you get one of these, Jacob. But unfortunately, this thing comes with a different transmission, a 7-speed dry dual clutch, and it has to be, it's a horrible pairing. Jacob, let's launch it.
Okay, so I've turned off auto stop start and I'll explain why in a second. Let's brake boost launch it.
Okay.
Fist me.
It's me. Oh.
It's got to be the gentlest takeoff we've ever done.
Oh my god, that gear change was awful.
Oh my god, the 0 to 60 kilometers an hour was 5.98. We're still not at 100. Oh! I don't think we've gotten worse in a car ever. 0 to 100 in 14.5 seconds. I hesitated because I've never counted that high.
14.5 seconds.
Friend, we're now driving the Kia Stonic GT line, and I just want to get the worst part of this car out of the way.
Let's just get it out of the way.
Okay? We rolled back a little bit.
Oh.
That's horrible. That's genuinely awful.
I was waiting for that.
So Jacob is the one that's been living with this car for a week. And look, it's got its pros and its cons. I have to keep in mind that this thing is a relatively cheap little SUV, and you still do get like a decent amount of inclusions for what you get. But
Yes.
driving this thing is just not, it's not ideal.
That's not it, man.
Let's talk about the engines. It's kind of like a lesser of two evils. So you get a 3-cylinder, 1-litre turbo. I absolutely love this engine in the Kia Picanto with the 6-speed manual, but when you combine it with this 7-speed dry dual clutch, it's a really bad pairing. It's really, really bad.
It really is.
And I think the worst part of it is not when you're moving. When you're on the move like this, it's fine. We can put it into manual mode and shift, and it's actually quite quick in responding, so that's kind of sporty. The issue is when you are on a hill, for example, and you need to reverse up a hill. Good luck. The car's going to roll forward. Or, let's do this one more time. So we're going to come to a stop. Auto stop start happens. Right.
Flooring it. Flooring it.
That's bad.
That's too slow. You're going to get tooted.
You're going to get tooted so hard. Wow.
Oh.
But I say this is the lesser of two evils because it kind of is. The other engine option, yes, it's a bigger 4-cylinder, but it's actually got no power, no torque. So they both have 74 kilowatt of power. That has even less torque, even less.
Less than 172
And
meters.
it's only, yeah, it's like 130, and it's only available from like 4,000 RPM, and peak power in that one is like 6,000 RPM. At least with this one, because it's a turbocharged engine, you get peak torque, that pulling power, as soon as you put your foot down. So it feels way more sprightly. It's also a newer engine, and it gets better fuel economy. So, I mean, we've been driving like an idiot right now. We're getting 7.2 litres per 100 kilometers. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, for the way we're driving.
For the way we're driving.
The stop start.
Let's put the car into sport mode. This is the thing that really surprised me. It's probably best in class is its handling. Like,
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
I don't know what Kia do, right?
Oh, they're
But-
just bloody geniuses.
They work their magic. This is flooring it. It's making a lot of noise, and
Oh.
we're not really moving.
It's working very hard.
We're
But it's very stable, right?
very stable. You can, dare I say,
yeah.
actually have a bit of fun around these twisties, which is, I don't know, I'm almost laughing at myself saying that.
All right, tickle my little pickle. Why?
Nah, I didn't need to hold on, did I?
That wasn't a good gear change. It has a dry dual clutch, as I said earlier, and that's good for efficiency because it means that the clutch packs aren't submerged in oil. There's less power that the engine needs to move. I don't even know what I'm saying. There's less oil.
Less power loss.
There's less power loss, right, by having a dry dual clutch and better fuel economy. But it's just not the best. It's not the best in terms of how it drives, and then it's not the best in terms of reliability.
It's like an air fryer instead of a deep fryer.
Potentially. if that's an analogy you want to use.
I don't know, man.
Last couple of things I want to mention. One, ride comfort, really good.
Yeah, decent.
It's comfy. The other thing, road noise, definitely not the best, but it's also not like horrible.
On the freeway, it's a little bit more than I would probably hope for, to be honest.
Okay, so that's it. The Kia Stonic GT line. Have my opinions changed much? Not really. I mean, the Kia Rio is now dead. It's going to be phased out by the end of this year because of strict emissions in Europe and the US and coming up to Australia now. I don't know, man. I struggle to recommend this. If you need something that needs a 7-year warranty, a new car and is relatively cheap, it's definitely not a bad choice, but I don't want to say the worst, but it's probably down there at the very bottom of the list in terms of its competitors and the engine and drivetrain.
I have to agree.
It's like, you drive it, you'll see what I mean. Take it for a spin, you might love it. I'd be surprised. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section just below that like button. If you want to see a full detailed written review of this thing, check out our website and also our finance page. We will get you the best financing deals possible. And why don't you click over there to watch one of our other reviews? We highly recommend it. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you are new. And as always, ciao for now.
Bye-bye.